So I'm going to run down the list of things that Pulse Wave does not ignore. Invisible Woman from the classic set. Any character that is 7 or more squares from Invisible Woman cannot draw line of fire to her. Now, if there was some character that had Pulse Wave that had a range of beyond 7 with Pulse Wave, then you would not be able to target her. But because you have your range with Pulse Wave, most of the time you're going to have range below a 7. So you most likely would be able to target her. But if for some chance someone had a really huge range, like a 16, like a Galactus, you have that would be an 8. Galactus would not be able to Pulse Wave because he wouldn't be able to target her. Probably not likely. Pulse Wave does not ignore Ulic's special power. Damage dealt to Ulic is reduced to 1. This power cannot be countered or ignored. It says it cannot be ignored, and Pulse Wave ignores powers. So the card takes precedent, and you will not be able to Pulse Wave and do more damage to him than 1. He has Camouflage special power. When a bomb is adjacent to a wall or blocking terrain, any line of fire drawn to him for a range attack is blocked. So if he's against a wall or blocking terrain, you cannot draw a line of fire to him. So that's another thing that Pulse Wave would not be able to target him if he was next to a wall or blocking terrain. And here we have Hulk, the super rare, number 43. His special power is Limitless Rage. Hulk can use Toughness. Hulk ignores all damage dealt to him unless it is dealt by an attack and the attack roll is doubles, but not critical miss. Friendly characters cannot use probability during the attack that targets Hulk. This power cannot be ignored or countered. Invisible Kid. He has a special power as well. Full invisibility. Invisible Kid can use stealth. Any line of fire drawn to Invisible Kid is blocked if he has no action token. So if he has no action tokens, you can't draw a line of fire to him. So that's something that you need to also take note. The stealth isn't really going to be a factor because stealth is triggered by hindering terrain, and Pulse Wave ignores hindering terrain. But if he has no tokens on him, lines of fire to him are blocked. And like I said, Pulse Wave needs a line of fire. Maxwell Lord. Erase myself from your mind. Line of fire drawn to Maxwell Lord by an opposing character are blocked unless he's taking damage from an opponent's attack this game. So if he has not taken damage, line of fire to him is blocked. This is the Annihilation Beta Ray Bill. He has Cosmic Storm and Eclipse. Opposing characters within 6 squares possessing the wing symbol modify their speed and attack by -1. Friendly characters within 6 squares that can use stealth have line of fire drawn to them are blocked when it's not your turn. So if a character on your team has stealth and they're within 6 squares of Beta Ray Bill, now lines of fire drawn to those characters with stealth, those lines of fire are blocked. Here we have DC 10th Anniversary Brainiac. I'll show you Impervious. Brainiac can use Impervious. When turning the dial, if this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. This power cannot be ignored or countered. Same thing as all the other powers that say that cannot be ignored or countered are still in effect as well on this character. Pulse Wave would not be able to ignore that power. I've talked quite a bit about this Batman. If any of your friendly characters on your team have not taken damage this turn, you cannot draw lines of fire to Batman. So that's something that you need to also remember, but I've covered this quite a bit already in this video. Firestar has a special power later on in the dial. Whenever Firestar would take damage from energy explosion or Pulse Wave, ignore that damage and heal her 1 damage and modify her damage by +1 for the end of the turn. This power cannot be ignored. So she actually takes the Pulse Wave and heals a click, and it cannot be ignored. Situational, but in this situation, Pulse Wave would not be able to hurt her if she had that power at the point of the attack. Here we have GSX Mystique. Her trait, she walks among us. Mystique can use shape change. When it's not your turn, line of fire drawn to Mystique are blocked if she's adjacent to an opposing character. So if she's on your team and you have her adjacent to an opposing character, lines of fire to her are blocked. Pulse Wave needs line of fire. Pulse Wave would not be able to target her if you were in that situation where you were next to an opposing character. Pretty cool. We're going to cover Marvel 10th Anniversary Iron Man Adaptive Armor. When Iron Man would take damage from a character assigned a relic or resource, Iron Man ignores that damage and rolls a d6. On a result of 1 through 3, deal Iron Man 1 avoidable damage. This ability cannot be ignored. Now the thing that needs to be noted here, normal Pulse Wave would still do damage because this power is restricted to relics and resources. If your character has a relic or resource, then this power comes into effect. I'm going to finish off more characters that cannot be ignored by Pulse Wave, Triton, Aqualad, and Garth. If they are in water, lines of fire are blocked to them if they have their special power. And then we have Hand and League of Assassins ATAs. When it's not your turn, line of fire to the character using this team ability are blocked if they are adjacent to a wall or blocking terrain. Much like the Camouflage Feat card, if you are next to a wall or blocking terrain and you have shape change, lines of fire are blocked. So these are the things that Pulse Wave cannot ignore. Hopefully you found this video informative and you have learned a lot about Pulse Wave.